Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren, but I'm known as Cross Stitch Bunny here on YouTube and over on Instagram. If you are joining me for the first time, this is my channel all about cross stitch, and if you are returning, then welcome back. For all you returning viewers, I have realised now for quite a number of episodes back to back that I keep forgetting to update you on Nameless Puppy. So here she is. She's got a beautiful face, but you can hardly see it with how dark she is on this camera. But I did ask you all a little while ago to help me name her because we were struggling, and I keep meaning to update you guys on what we've ended up calling her, and I keep forgetting. So I thought for this episode I would start with that immediately and just let you all know that your suggestions were a big help, and out of all the suggestions that were made, I narrowed down her name to 3 options, which were Nora, which a couple of people suggested, Flossie, which I absolutely loved, that a couple of people suggested with various spellings, and then also Coco. And then I took those 3 names to the rest of the family, so my children and Adam, and we ended up settling on Coco. So yes, I just wanted to let you all know that that is what we ended up calling her, and here she is. She's getting pretty big now. She's still little, but you're getting a lot bigger than you were last time they saw you, aren't you? So yeah, that is Coco, and I just wanted to let you know that that is her name. Speaking of puppies, these are 2 of our latest additions. These are 2 of our little toy cockapoo babies. I just thought I would bring them to say hello because they've just woken up from the nap and they're looking very cute. And they are 6 weeks old. I think it might even be today, so like today or tomorrow they are 6 weeks old. So yeah, it's just some puppy cuteness for you because I've not shown any of our little babies for a while. So that was just a little bit of puppy cuteness for you guys. I know that previously a lot of you comment very favourably when I give you a little glimpse of some of our babies, and so I just thought you might enjoy that. I've not shown any of our little babies for a while, but on to the stitching. So today is the 30th of August, I had to check then. It is Tuesday the 30th of August. We're pretty much at the end of the month. Usually I film on the very last day or the very first day of the month, but we're close enough, and it just worked out that filming was going to be easier for me to get around to doing today because tomorrow I am intending to drive quite a number of hours away over towards Manchester to go and stay with my mum and dad for a number of days with the kids. Daisy, my eldest, it is her last day of nursery today, and then we have a gap until she starts school on the 7th of September. So yes, not long now until that new chapter begins for her, and she's very excited to be going to big school. But I was just very aware that our option of doing long weekends at grandma's is going to change because she's now going to be in school. So this is really the last chance that I have to go up there for like 3-4 days without it being a school holiday. So yeah, end of an era of being able to just flit back and forth whenever it takes our fancy. But yeah, I'm sure we will adapt and just have to work around school holidays like everyone else with kids that are no longer preschoolers. I can't believe it. But anyway, on with the stitching. So I'm going to do my best to remember everything today. For my past few videos I have written some notes and I've had my notes, and it's worked much better for me not forgetting things or missing things, but unfortunately today I have just not had the time to actually make the notes, and if I'd spent the time to sit and write them, the chances are I would have run out of time to film. So I am just going to do my best. Please bear with me if I have to kind of think aloud to remember things, but I will do my best. I have no idea how many hours of stitching I've done since I last saw you because I've not glanced into my book to like roughly add it up like I usually do for you guys, but I've done quite a lot. So I'd say like maybe I've done around 25 or 30 hours stitching since I last saw you. Hopefully I'm not wildly out with that guesstimation. I think it's about 30 hours, I would say. I feel like I've got a reasonable amount done in the last couple of weeks. I have had a single new start and a single finish since I last saw you, which means that I I'm still at 23 whips. My goal now, my focus is to get below 20 whips by the end of 2022. So yes, I've not helped myself this month with having an unplanned new start that I will be showing you today, but at least I've not added to my number because I've also had one finish. So I'm just going to grab my board that I've accidentally left on the floor so that I can show you my finish. So if you do follow me on Instagram, this will be very familiar to you because it's had a lot of time on my grid recently. It is not ironed because it is literally pretty much fresh off the frame. I only finished it a few days ago, and here it, oh, sorry, terrible bit of fluff there. Let's try again. Here it is. This is my fish and chips kit by Heritage Crafts, and the design is by Karen Carter. And look at that, it is absolutely beautiful. I will try and give you a bit of a closer view. So there's the first seagull there, just digging into the bag of chips. This one in the centre looks like he's just gone and caught a fish, who doesn't look too happy about it. And then lastly, there's this one here that's, I don't know, he's either looking bemused because he's missing out on all the food, or he's just keeping watch. But yes, this is a full coverage, but only a small full coverage. I have had a lot of fun stitching it. I have really enjoyed it. I'm not going to put up a comparison of where I was last time. I never do that when I've got something that's completed because I just think it's pointless. It is finished, so you don't need to see where I was last time, but I was close last time you saw this. But then I did, like I said, I really want to have some finishes before the end of the year, so I worked pretty monogamously on this after my last Flosstube was filmed until it was finished, and then once it was finished I've then flitted and jumped between other things. But yes, I think I worked on this for about 4 or 5 days after my last, like, beginning of the month Flosstube was filmed. And I just kept going on this every evening until I'd finished the whole thing and got all the back stitch done, and then I allowed myself to start picking up other things. But I have to say I really enjoyed it. Like, I actually really enjoyed working a bit more monogamously on things, because typically like every evening I will tend to jump between different projects. So most of my stitching is done in the evening, and then when I do get time during the day, yeah, like usually within any given week I will jump between maybe 5 or 6 different things, and I have ended up working on 6 different projects in total since I last did a stitchy update. But I made this the focus and the priority, and I did this first, so I got a good like 5 days back to back on this, and I must say, yeah, I did enjoy it. I just felt like I was really getting somewhere with it, if that makes sense. You know, when you jump too much between things and you feel like nothing is really showing a lot of progress. So yeah, it was really nice just to be a bit of a monogamous stitcher on this for 5 days at least and just get a finish. This is stitched on 14 count white Ada that was supplied as a kit. I believe that all the threads are DMC, but I don't want to commit to that because it could be wrong and they could be anchor. I've not got the kit packaging here with me because that's all gone into my my little folder of things I've finished. That's already been put away. But yeah, I am very pleased with how this has turned out. I think it's absolutely delightful. I'm really looking forward to doing the others that are in the same series. There's a lot of these Seaside inspired patterns by Karen Carter for Heritage, and I love them all, and have several of them, as you have seen. So next up to show you, I have my single new start for the month. This was unplanned, but then something came up that made it important to me that I make a start on stitching this. I'm not going to say what it is because it is a secret stitch, and so you won't be seeing much of this, and there will probably be several hours a month over the coming months where I'm working on this, and you're just not going to see that progress. So in my future videos, may seem like I have stitched a little less than usual, and that is just because I will be working on this in the background, and you probably won't see it again after this initial little peek. but this is a new start that I have started to work on, and you're getting no further details for the time being, but it will become clear when it is eventually finished at some point. And yeah, I look forward to sharing this with you at some point in the future. I'm stitching this on 16 count, and it is a hand dyed fabric done by myself in like a sort of paint sludge effect with the dyes. It's like blues and yellow and pink on white. So that is my single new start. Then have my Festive Jars update for you. So for those of you that are participating in the 9-jar sale with me, this is where I am at, guys. I have now completed my 3rd jar, and I did it just on time. I think I finished it the day before, and I did post that progress on Instagram, but I will show you. This is what this looked like in my last Flosstube. I'm pretty sure I just made a token start on jar 3, and as you can see, jar 3 is now finished, which is my snowman jar. And as with the other 2 that I've done, I just think he is delightful. So much detail in what is a relatively small space. Yeah, I absolutely love these patterns by Susan Bates. She is a favourite designer of mine, I think. Like I said, I have a number of her designs, like from magazines. I also have one of her books, and her designs just make me really happy to stitch, and they're always so beautiful once you add in those backstitch details. I did see on Susie's Instagram that she put out a post within the last couple of days saying that the reason she's not been very active on social media recently is because she's been very ill, and she has been in hospital. So I'm sure that everyone in general, but particularly all of those that are stitching her designs along with me at the moment, will wish her a speedy recovery. I know that I do. I hope that she gets better very soon and is able to get back to designing more lovely things for us all. But in the meantime, obviously we have these beautiful designs to keep us occupied. And yeah, I just hope that you get better soon, Susie, if you are possibly watching. I was very sorry to hear about how sick you were. So that is my progress on the Festive Jars, and this is the 9-jar sale. The next part I think will be starting from memory on the 10th of September. So I have until the 10th of September to do jar number 4, which is not yet started, but I think that's fairly achievable if I make this a focus. I may take this to my parents' house and just take that with the goal of just finishing that jar, or I may just really focus on it when I get back. I've not decided yet. I do tend to find whenever I go to my parents and I pack some stitching, I never end up picking it up, and I usually end up taking 2 or 3 projects with all the good intentions that I will do some stitching in the evening. But in reality, usually I'm just spending quality time and I don't get round to it. So yeah, I might not take anything at all, but if I do take anything, it will be this one. Next, I have a little bit of progress to share with you on my Emma Congdon Heaven piece. They don't actually have names, but that is what I call it. I will give you a little reminder of what this design is so that you can have a little look at what it will look like completed. And I will also show you my progress last time, and this is where I am now. So it is not a huge amount of progress, but nonetheless, progress is progress. I have done a little bit more stitching. I have started to fill in the letters here. I've done this blue writing here, this little bit of backstitch round here, and I think this bit may be new, but I'm not 100% sure. You will be able to see from where I've put the comparison up whether this is new. I think it might be, But yes, I have just done a little bit on this, not too much, and this is being stitched on like a navy blue Ada, and I'm struggling to remember what count without my notes. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I don't have my notes. I'm not going to make it up. In my previous episodes, I will have told you with confidence what count fabric this is on, and next Flosstube, if I've worked on this, or the next time I show it to you, I will confirm what count I am doing that on, because I just can't remember. I want to say that it's 14, but I'm just not sure. It could be 16. It's one or the other. I will confirm next time you see it. And moving on, this one I have to make sure I get it the right way up to show you. And this is looking a bit saggy in its frame because I've just loosened it right off with the tension just since I last worked on it. But this is my Mirabilia Snow Maiden. So again, I will show you what she looks like as a completed design. And I will show you where I was last time, just for a little bit of a comparison. You will not see too much of a difference because I have done very little on her in terms of new stitches really. I have put 2.5 hours into this since you last saw her, and I know that because I've literally just worked on her the once. It was just the one afternoon that I picked her up, and I know that I did like a 2.5 hour session on her. Just did a little bit of filling in of various areas, and I think quite a bit of this purple, maybe like some of these purple blocks I think are new. And yeah, just a little bit of general filling in, just all over really. I was jumping around quite a lot in that 2.5 hours, just filling in gaps. But yes, there she is. And the reason I picked this up is just because Cross Stitch Mad Sarah, who is on Instagram, and she's a good friend of mine, she had seen me stitching this, and she saw it on my Flosstube and she fell in love with the design, immediately had to buy it. I totally enabled her. She went and bought it and started it, and she did quite a chunk on it. And I thought to myself, oh, I really want to pull mine out now. And you know, seeing someone else working on the same project made me really want to pull her out. So yeah, I've just spent one afternoon giving her a little bit of attention. I really enjoyed it. And I would pick her up more and carry on stitching on her if it wasn't for the fact that she's so big and I'm so far from a finish, and I really am trying to look at my current whips, and out of the 23 I have on the go, I'm trying to pick ones to work on that are going to give me those finishes that I'm currently looking to get before the end of the year, which leads me on nicely to the last whip that I have to show you. So as I said, I did manage the one single finish this month of fish and chips. Or have I had more? No, that is my single finish so far from this month, that's right, is my fish and chips piece. And then I was looking in my stash, in my whip box, at what to concentrate on next as another focus piece, because focusing on my fish and chips for those several consecutive days got me a finish, and I was trying to look at what other whips I could do the same with, and I settled on this one. So this is my Bothy Autumn Tree. I will show you what it looks like completely finished, and you can see that mine is now looking very similar to the fully finished design because I am so close to a finish. You can see what mine looked like last time I showed it on Flosstube, and it was looking very different. So the same as with my fish and chips piece, I have focused on this for the last 4 or 5 days, and I've stitched on nothing else for the last 4 or 5 days, and it really shows. So I'll give you a close-up now. This is a very detailed pattern, lots of little elements and lots of backstitch, but I have finished all of the cross stitching, so there are no crosses left to put into this, and I have finished the vast majority of the backstitch, as you can see. The only backstitch I've got left to do is up in this top corner. Am I showing you the right corner? No, I'm not, am I? This top corner, sorry. So this top corner, these are just the last few elements that need to be backstitched. And once I have backstitched up in this top corner, the only thing left to do is add some little beads and charms, because this design is a Bothy kit. It is a full kit on 14 count white Ada, but it comes, as well as all the threads that I'm obviously using to stitch it, it comes with quite a few little beads, and I believe that they are like a goldish looking colour from off the top of my head, like a bit antique-y gold, I think. And there's like a lot of little flowers to sew on it, like flower gems and things like that. And the beads get placed on these, which you can see there's a lot of these branches here with like the little finger bits, and each of those fingers will have a bead on the end. I think that's where all the beading is, just from memory. And then a lot of the flower charms and things like that, they're just placed at random, and they're actually not shown on the pattern. It literally says refer to the model stitch picture to place those, and they're just dotted around. So yeah, like I think here in this gap there's like a flower gem, or maybe up here in this gap, and yeah, there's just a few little gems dotted around that I need to stitch on it. But yes, I am extremely close to a finish on this. I am really excited to get to the end of it. I will be working on this evening, and I've not got much backstitch left to do really at all, and then it is literally all about doing that final bit of beading. I may get this finished tonight, and that would be lovely, because if I am driving to go and be away from home for a few days tomorrow, it would be really nice to not come back and have to pick this up again to finish it, but actually to finish it before I leave would be amazing. So I will be trying my best to finish this tonight, and I think it's achievable. Just analysing it and looking at it now, like the backstitch on here might take me like another hour to finish, and then the beading and placing those little gems, if that takes me like another hour, I could definitely squeeze 2 hours of stitching in tonight. So yeah, this may be a finish today, but you'll have to wait to find out. That is all of my stitching to show you, and the only thing left to show you is a little bit of haul. Now, I'm very aware that it's only like a few days ago since I posted my special Flosstube anniversary video that was all about stash, so you might be stashed out and not want to see too much more haul, because I've shown you so much stash only a few days ago. But these are just a few bits of newly acquired haul that I bought in August. I just caught up with Sian's latest video, that's Sian at Craftivating Creations. I literally just watched her latest video this morning. And she was saying in that she can't use anything until she's shown it on Flosstube, and I'm exactly the same. So I have like a little box that anything that I've acquired within that given month goes into that box, and then I have to show it to you guys before I like open it or do anything with it. It's rare that I will buy something and then immediately show it before I've shown, like start it before I've shown it as haul. So I just found that funny when she said that. But yes, these are my August acquisitions. So the first ones I've got to show you, I bought as a pair. They were on eBay, pre-owned but brand new. And this is 2 beautiful dolphin kits. So this is the first one with the dolphin jumping in front of the moon and the waves, and this is called Balance of Life. It is a Candamar design. And this one is Rainbow Dolphins, also by Candamar Designs. But these are not counted cross stitch, and usually I will not even consider touching cross stitch kits that are printed as opposed to counted, because I had one terrible experience of attempting a printed cross-stitch kit about 15 years ago, and it was a Flower Fairies one, and I was at the time I'd done 2 or 3 of the actual Flower Fairies counted kits, and I'd gone into the same shop to purchase another one, picked out a design, got home and realised that it was a printed one and not a counted one like I was used to, and I just couldn't get my head around it. I couldn't do it. It was an absolute disaster, and I think I spent no more than like 15 or 20 minutes trying to start it and completely gave up, and I'm pretty sure it just got binned or taken to a charity shop. I could not get on with it. So yeah, part of me is thinking I'm really crazy for buying these knowing that they are not counted cross stitch, and you can see the materials in the back there. So you've got a thread bundle, and then you can very clearly see here the dolphins are already printed. Again, you can see here the pattern is printed, and I'm pretty sure that the elements that I will be stitching on these is like the bubbles, and then just some like a lot of it looks like half stitch detailing on the dolphins themselves. But I just loved these designs, and I had been watching this pair of kits on eBay for a very long time, and they have been relisted and relisted and relisted so many times, and I just thought I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to see how I get on with them, see if I can follow them. I can see inside here that there is still a printed like chart. I seem to remember, like I said, it was 15 years ago, so it's hard to remember with complete accuracy, but I feel like the previous Flower Fairies kit that was printed that I attempted to do, I honestly don't remember it having a paper chart inside it, and I don't know whether that was how it was supposed to be, or whether I was really unlucky that maybe I bought a kit that for some reason they hadn't put the paper chart in. But maybe that's why I just couldn't get my head around it, because I very clearly remember that I just opened it and it was literally like threads and fabrics and an instruction sheet, but no actual symbol pattern. Like I said, this is going back a while. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't a symbol chart. These definitely do have a printed symbol chart in them. So I guess it's just a case of finding my place and making sure that that first stitch is placed correctly relative to what is printed. So like where you can see the dolphin printed here, I guess I've just got to line up the symbol pattern with the printed fabric, and as long as I line it up right, then I should be fine. But yeah, I just thought these were so pretty that I liked the designs enough that I'm going to give the printed kits a second chance. The last bit of haul that I've got to show you is my Riolis Recipe for Happiness kit. And this design does make me so happy to look at. It is beautiful. I have not seen a design like a pattern or a kit that has made me this excited for a really long time. I fell in love with this instantly, and I went out and bought it instantly. Like usually I'll see something that I like and I'll watch it, I'll bookmark it, I'll make a note or screenshot it, and it might be weeks or months or even longer until I actually get round to deciding to purchase it. But I saw this design stitched up by somebody on Instagram, and they had stitched it. It was the Russian version of the pattern, so all the wording was in Russian, but it was the flower, just this gorgeous happy looking flower, that caught my attention, and I just thought that it was beautiful stitching, a beautiful design, and I wondered whether I might be able to find the pattern in English, and I wasn't sure whether it was a pattern or a kit, but I did some Googling. And then, yeah, really happily, I discovered that it is in fact a Riolis kit, and that it does come in an English version, not just Russian. Because I did love this pattern so much that I did consider that if I couldn't find it in English, that I might just buy the Russian pattern or a Russian kit, and maybe just have a go at changing the words myself. But yes, here it is, one more peek. I just love this, all these ingredients going into this recipe for happiness. Just think this is absolutely delightful and like so whimsical and just beautiful. I love it. I absolutely love this. Oh, a bit excited there. And the last thing I've got to show you, I am showing you alongside my haul, but this was a bit of stitchy kindness. So this beautiful Nora Corbett pattern has been gifted to me by Ina. She is on Instagram as Ina Stitches. I'll just give you a closer look, and Ina has recently completed this herself. It is called the Red Cabbage Sprite by Nora Corbett, and this is a little bit of an in-joke between the ladies that were on my stitchy table at the April No-Ban retreat. So Ina was on my table along with several other ladies, and on the Mirabilia gala night where they did a quiz, there was an element of the quiz that was anagrams, and we had to unscramble loads of anagrams to get barking dogs just at the end. You know, they had to bark at some point, didn't they? Let's just ignore them and carry on. Girls, quiet. Come here. Come here. Come here. Girls, come inside. Come on. Right. If you hear some walking around, my two little chihuahuas are in here at the moment, as they were barking and being very noisy. So now you might just hear the little pitter-patter of their feet. Instead, I just thought I would just grab them in because it is easier. So yes, here is the Red Cabbage Sprite. And yeah, this was a standing joke on my table at the retreat. So we had the gala night, there were the anagrams that we were trying to decipher, and one of them was for Red Cabbage Sprite, except we deciphered it as the Red Cabbage Priest, and then we were all just really confused because we were like, well, red cabbage, you know, that is two proper words, it makes sense, but Nora has definitely not designed a priest, and we just could not get it right. And then literally 2 minutes before we had to hand in our results, we realised, like, we were just concentrating on that word priest, and we managed to scramble the letters to make the word sprite, which made a lot more sense, given the nature of the designs that Nora does. So yeah, it just became a bit of a standing joke on our little quiz table, because it was so funny at the time. Probably doesn't seem that funny now, but it was, in the moment, it was very funny. And as such, we decided that we all would like to stitch this as a little memento of our fun time at the retreat, and Ina stitched it first and then has kindly passed the pattern to me. So I am going to try and stitch this fairly soon, and then once I'm done with it, I will pass it along. But yes, thank you, Ina. I'm really looking forward to stitching this, and I have promised that I am going to try and do it fairly soon. At the very latest, I would like to be able to take this pattern along to the next April retreat with me and pass it on to the next person in the group that wants to stitch it. And I think realistically, yeah, that's probably what will happen, because I think I will struggle, even with the best of intentions, I will struggle to finish her much before then, but that is my goal. My goal is to stitch her and have her fully complete before the next retreat in April, which is the actual Mirabilia retreat, and then I can pass her on. Oh, Belle, Belle, come here. Where are you going? Little Belle here is my old lady chihuahua, and I just heard her trying to sneak into my bedroom. You naughty girl. Yes, go that way. So that is everything from me for today. No, Belle, don't be trying to do that again. Don't be trying to do that again. They do sometimes come in my bedroom, but not unsupervised, because you will get up to all sorts of mischief. That is everything for me. From me even. That is everything from me for today. Like I said, I'm just looking forward to enjoying a few days away with my parents now before little one starts big school. and it's going to be a change and an adjustment to our routine, and it will limit us being able to just waltz off for long weekends at Grandma's, so we're just going to make the most of it for these next few days. I hope that you all get some lovely stitching done between now and when I next see you. That will be middle of the month. Just another last reminder that if you're doing the 9 jars sale, we need to finish jar 4 by the 10th of September. That is the goal. Obviously, if you fall behind, it's absolutely no problem at all. I fell behind myself on one of the parts and didn't finish it in time. You know, it's just about what works for you, but that is the goal. The goal is to try and start part 5 on the 10th of September. So in my next video, hopefully I will have achieved that, and I'll be able to show you my jar number 4 and hopefully share some progress from the rest of you guys that are joining in. Yeah, so have a good couple of weeks. I will endeavour to do another Flosstube extra episode and do the next part of my stash dive as and when I can. I'm hoping that I can fit that into September, so maybe I will do it between my next normal Flosstube and my end of month roundup. So yeah, maybe squeeze 3 videos into September just to show you the rest of my stash. I will do my best to make that happen, but if it doesn't, then I guess we'll try and do that in October, but I will do it at some point. I really enjoyed filming that stash video. It was a lot of fun, and I discovered some things that I had not seen for a while. So yeah, it was really fun for me, and I think that you guys enjoyed watching it too from the comments I've had so far. Take care, everyone. I hope that you, like I said, have a lovely couple of weeks stitching, and I really look forward to seeing you all again quite soon.